YouTube, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to my graduation. I'm with my cousin right here, Adam, you know what I'm saying? From Vermont. We drove 6 hours to come to this graduation. It's rainy, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this.
It's still gonna be a good day.
It's gonna be a good day, regardless. Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
We did it.
We did it. I'm gonna go to his graduation next week, so y'all might see that. You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations all around.
For real, for real. Bet, let's hop in this bit. Get away from the rain. Getting away from the rain.
Good thing it's gonna be inside, right?
Yeah. Cause you can never plan for the weather outside.
Nah.
Big facts.
That's it's gonna be lit, bro.
Definitely.
Blue Cross Arena.
Blue Cross Arena.
Pull up, yeah.
If you're around the area, I told you about this event and you ain't pull up. Oh no. I don't know what to do with you. But if you pulled up, I appreciate it. You know, it's been long, 4 years. Oh, that's a seatbelt, bro. Not mine, because mine's on me. But it's been long, 4 years. I finally did it. You finally been doing it too, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, long 4 years. We're out of here, bro. Future is bright. Yeah, man.
That's how to get it.
Big facts. Big things coming soon, you know. School was stopping me from posting.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna see a whole lot of old videos soon too, for real.
Back on the grind, man.
Back on that YouTube grind, for real. Yo. Inshallah, that's the goal, bro.
New York and Vermont, right now.
Yup, New York, Vermont, Washington, Seattle, California, Canada, you know what I'm saying? We gotta go to Canada. Have you been to Canada?
Nah, I'm trying to pull up this summer, baby.
Inshallah, for real. You're looking right, you know? I have not been to Canada.
Out of the way.
Exactly. I have not been to Canada. It's just like literally right near me too. Like, no cap, say less. Let's go to it this summer. After Ramadan, man. For real, I would definitely do it. Yeah, I've never been there. I want to see Jake's mansion, yo.
And his jet.
Yeah, and his jet, and private jet. Yeah,
You just gotta keep on dreaming big, man.
that's definitely the truth. He was like 25, sitting on 25 mil.
Yeah.
So you know the deal. You know what I'm saying? He's that model and all that. You know, that's his model. Yo. Distracting me, this guy's calling me. And then real, like, you know what I'm saying? I was near his street
Someone
too.
used to live there, right? They used to live there.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember that.
But he distracted me by calling me. Like, I was like near his house too. They go Brooklyn Muslim charity right here, you know what I'm saying? I was doing charity work there. This dinner right here.
Oh, Barack.
Brooklyn Muslim charity.
Oh, yeah.
Brooklyn Muslim charity. See, look, I was gonna turn in here, but he messed me up. This guy. Messed me up. Burger. That's what he was saying yesterday. Burger.
That guy's a bird.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's good.
Yeah. He's late, you know what I'm saying? Called him again. Like, you distracting me again? Yeah. I mean, he said that we're late, but where is he?
Tell him to get the keys from
Yeah. See more in the next one. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of graduation stuff happening today. So
Yeah, this is
Stay
the
tuned.
beginning.
This is the beginning. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Halal way too. No haram. It's Ramadan. I'm fasting. Just to let y'all know.
Muhammad the other day. Damn. Terkenal gua.
And join Taylor Coken in the singing of America the Beautiful and remain standing for invocation by Taylor Plaza. Groups who played a vital role in helping you achieve your goals. The first group includes your family and friends who have provided much needed love and guidance and support. And the second group is the Nazareth faculty and staff who have guided you, coached you, and challenged you both in and outside of the classroom and by their example. Their dedication to your learning and discovery, and to your success, is at the core of what our college provides. So I ask the class of 2019 to stand now and give a very warm round of applause to these two important groups, and a special applause to all the moms celebrating this day. Please rise and be acknowledged. Thank you. Now that the class has offered its thanks, I want to add mine and thank the members of the class of 2019. You've worked diligently over the past years, and your successes have brought credit to you and honor to the college. In preparing for today, I was actually drawn back to my own graduation, which hits a huge milestone mark this year. I won't mention which milestone, but it's a significant one. And it occurred to me that if someone pulled me aside then and said, "Do you know that in 2019 you will be giving a speech at Nazareth College commencement as the president?" I would have concluded the person is crazy. First of all, the year 2019 seemed too far into the future for me to even comprehend. More important, I was on my way to law school and very much wanted to be a lawyer, hoping to practice civil rights law. It never crossed my mind for a second, for a single second, that someday I might teach at a law school, be a dean, and then a president of a college. I think there's a lesson in my own experience. As you sit here today, Even if you have plans for employment or additional academic work, you do not know where your paths will lead. And they are certain to take a number of turns, heading in different directions with varying opportunities. This is especially true given the fact that we are living in a world that is changing almost too quickly to comprehend. The speed of change is accelerating, and at times it seems all consuming. Mark Taylor, who teaches at Columbia, wrote a book entitled Speed Limits, which details our obsession with speed. Every one of us has witnessed some aspects of the speed culture, and I'm as guilty as the next person. In fact, when I sat down to write the speech, I got very annoyed because my computer seemed slow to boot up. And of course, if I had actually bothered to measure the time, it was probably only a second or two slower. As I was writing, I also found that I was regularly interrupting myself to check my emails, and I'm willing to bet that I'm not the only one in this auditorium who checks his or her messages even before eating breakfast. This speed culture not only has us constantly checking our mobile devices, but it creates expectations that we will respond immediately to the sender. Like many others here, I get messages at all hours of the day and night, 7 days of the week, and the sender wants a response. Indeed, sometimes I wonder if the sender thinks I keep my mobile device on my pillow, just waiting for the signal that a message arrived so that I can jump up from a sound sleep to respond. Technology, of course, has fueled this preoccupation with speed, and technology itself is changing at a rapid rate. It may seem hard to imagine, but when I graduated, we didn't even know what a cell phone was. Today, when I leave Starbucks on my way to work, my phone, which is really a mini computer, tells me that it's 9 minutes to Nazareth College, even though I did not tell it where I was going or ask it how long it would take to get there. Author Thomas Friedman examines the implications of living in what he calls the age of acceleration in his book, Thank You for Being Late. As he explains, over the past 50 years, the power of the microchip, which operates the computer, has doubled each year. This means that today, the chip is 90,000 times more efficient and 60,000 times cheaper. These numbers mean absolutely very little to each pennies. So to put them in perspective, Intel, a manufacturer of the microchip, explains what would happen if a 1971 Volkswagen Beetle car improved at the same rate as the microchip. The car would be able to go 300,000 miles per hour, get 2 million miles per gallon of gas, and cost 4 cents. You could drive the car your entire life and use just 1 gallon of gas. Seems crazy and not even believable, but that's what it means for a product to double in its capacity every 2 years for 40 years. I want to stress, however, that the speed culture extends well beyond our technology into every aspect of our lives. Taylor states in his book, speed has become the measure of success, and he refers to the gospel of speed, which he says the quick will end up inheriting the earth. The focus on speed begins very early in life. A number of years ago, I had my first encounter with the so-called speed child. A close friend's grandson was applying for daycare in a prestigious school in New York City. He asked if I would write a reference letter on behalf of his 4-year-old grandchild. Now, this 4-year-old was cute, and I enjoyed throwing the ball at him, which he rarely caught. But what can one say about a 4-year-old who was starting his high-speed chase at Wright College? It is clear that the speed culture takes a toll in a variety of ways. Indeed, we even know that it kills and causes injuries. I recently saw statistics indicating that over 3,000 people are killed each year and 400,000 injured because of distracted driving, needless deaths and injuries caused by people who are in such a rush that they could not wait to check their messages or send a text or email. But there's a terrible irony in all of this. With all this speed, we seem to have less time. Taylor writes, with everything in motion and everyone on the move, there's never enough time for anything. The faster we go, The less time we have, and the less time we have, the faster we think we have to go. So my charge to you today, graduates, is very simple. Slow down. Yes, put the speed dial on pause. I'm probably as much a victim of the speed culture as the next person, but yet I find that I do my best thinking when I exercise. The speed dial is on pause, no phone, no emails, no text, just time for thinking, reading, reflecting, or simply enjoying the day. When I was younger, we were often told, take time to smell the roses. Well, the need to slow down is about more than stopping to appreciate the flowers. Taylor concludes that we are at a tipping point, that the speed culture has repressed certain values, and we must take time to revisit those values. In such a fast-pacing world, we all need some consistency, some kind of stability in our lives. We all need to pause, to take a break from the cell phone, the tablets, and computers, and take time to focus on the important things. For me, the stability and consistency is found in family and friends. And I'm regularly reminded of this when I play with my little 1.5-year-old granddaughter. Maintaining those connections seems more important than ever. With Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, email, cell phones, not to mention the possibility of a person-to-person meeting, you have the ability to stay connected.
Graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2019 Nazareth, congratulations. You made it. Now first, I'd like to announce my class gift. As you know, it's hard to pay for college and graduate school. If you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing. But what about the middle class? So a few years ago, I wrote a law that said you or your parents, whoever paid for college or graduate school, can take as a full tax credit $2,500 off your federal taxes for each year of college or graduate school, provided, in Washington, there's always a provider, provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So, for those of you who come from families that make below $200,000, make sure you or mom or dad takes that credit. Last year, about a quarter of all the people who were entitled to didn't do it. And if you happen to have forgotten, or your family has, you can fill out a one-page form from the IRS, show them that you went to college for 3 years, or graduate school, and get up to a $7,500 check back in the mail. Not a bad class gift. Now, what happens if you come from families that make above $200,000 a year? God bless you. I'm also now working to pass legislation that would help reduce your student debt after you get out of college and graduate school. My goal, one of our highest priorities, has bipartisan Democrat and Republican support, is to make sure no graduate ever has to devote more than a small percentage of their income each year towards repaying their loans. It's long past time our government tackles the student debt load once and for all. I'd like to say a word to the parents. I know how you feel. A few short years ago, my wife Iris and I sat where you did, watched our daughter Allison get her diploma, come up on stage and get the diploma. It was one of the greatest, proudest days of our lives. And, you know, you've been through a lot by being parents. It's so hard to raise kids these days. But now, you get to watch all your blood, sweat, and tears pay off as your son or daughter walks onto the stage and becomes an adult before your very eyes. Let's hear it for the moms and dads. Great job. Special happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And just to share a little family blessing, 2 weeks ago, my mom and dad celebrated their 70th anniversary. He's 95, she's 90, so God has been good to us and good to them, so it's a great Mother's Day for us. Now, one more word of thanks. One more word of thanks. As we sit here today in this wonderful, wonderful moment, there are young men and women many from this area, the Rochester, Finger Lakes area, who have enlisted in our armed forces. Many of them are overseas in dangerous places like Iraq and Afghanistan, risking their lives for our freedom and our American way of life. Let's have a round of applause. Okay, to the class of 2019. Well, all of those late nights in the library and early mornings in the classroom have earned you a degree from a great institution. Nazareth is one of the best schools in New York. I'd like to thank Dr. Braven and all faculty for the great job that you all do. And now that you're graduating, it's good that you've gotten this degree, because you're graduating into a world that's moving so very fast. This is an era of profound economic and social change. In the old days, when you graduated from college, the odds were pretty high that you'd have the same job in the same field for 40 years. That's not so true anymore. Most of you will have several jobs. Many will have several careers. Now, along with those economic changes, as Dr. Braven alluded, the internet has put so much information at our fingertips, it's sometimes hard to figure out what's important and to distinguish between what's true and what isn't. And all too often, the loudest voices on the internet get the most attention. And of course, a generation ago, terrorist attacks and mass shootings were not even heard of. Now it seems like every week brings us a new tragedy. So it's a changing and sometimes difficult world. But here's the good news. Your generation, graduates, is better equipped than any other that came before it to adapt to these changes, to overcome the obstacles they present, and to seize the opportunities they afford. Right now, sitting in your seats, you may not be sure of what will come next. With so much of the world changing around you, it may sometimes feel like you're jumping into an abyss. But the key, graduates, is not to fear the unknown. Embrace it, relish it, soak up every possibility it has to offer. Now, how do I know? Because I remember feeling myself this way when I was about your age. I went to James Madison High School in Brooklyn, New York, which was then a working-class high school, and I was lucky enough to get into Harvard. In those days, no one from my background got into Harvard. The students were almost all from fancy private schools, mainly in New England. I was the son of an exterminator, going to a public school in Brooklyn, long before Brooklyn was cool. So I was scared. I went to the one fellow from my high school who went to Harvard years before me. His name was Red O'Brien. We both played on the school's basketball team. When I said to Red, how am I going to make it at this place with all these fancy people? He very matter-of-factly said, well, Chuck, try out for the freshman basketball team. They're terrible, just like Madison's team. So you'll make the team easily, and those will be your friends. In truth, he had a point. At Madison, our basketball team's motto was, we may be small, but we're slow. Well, forward to the first week of school tryouts. The coach calls me up and we're all wearing these little numbers. Number 27, he says, yes, sir. You're Schumer, yes, sir. You play for Madison, yes, sir. He says, how's Coach so-and-so? I said, fine, sir. Then he looks at me and he said, you play forward? I said, yes, sir. He said, how tall are you? I said, I'm 6'1", sir. He said, can you dribble? I said, that's not really my strong suit, sir. He said, go home. He didn't even watch me touch a basketball. Well, I was distraught. I wrote my mom a note. I said, it's only 2 weeks into school. I'm a flop already. I'm coming home. And I started packing up my stuff. But as fate would have it, late that night, as I was packing, somebody knocked on my door. Now, who do you think it was, class 2019? My parents coming to take me home? Nope. Basketball coach coming to give me a second chance? Nope. Or the girl I'd been making eyes at in math class, coming to ask me for help with her homework. No luck there either. I nervously turned the handle of my door and opened. And standing there across the threshold was somebody who introduced himself on the Harvard Young Democrats. He said, "We're working for a man named Eugene McCarthy who's ending the war in Vietnam." Well, I didn't have a political bone in my body. My dad was a Republican, my mom was a Democrat, but I lost some friends in the Vietnam War, and I was worried about the future of my country. And so I said something that changed the course of my life forever. I shrugged my shoulders, and I said, okay. The next morning, I went out with this group of kids, up to New Hampshire, knocking on doors, having a great time. It was like sports, you know, we ride up in neighborhoods and knock on the doors, we make up our own little leaflets. And over the next few months, on the snowy streets of New Hampshire, working for an insurgent political campaign, I was bitten by a political bug. Maybe it was luck. I'd like to believe it was God's hand. But in that moment of intense anxiety and uncertainty about the future, I took a leap and said, okay, to something completely new and different, and it enriched my life forever.
Will the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Braveman, on recommendation of the faculty of the college, I am pleased to present these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, certifying that they have fulfilled all the requirements for the degree and recommend that the degrees be conferred upon them.
By virtue of the power vested in me by the Regents of the University of the State of New York and by the trustees of Nazareth College, I confer upon these candidates the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations.
Please hold applause until all candidates have received their degrees. Mohammed Abukar. Mohammed Abukar. Mohammed Abukar. Jane Batista.
That's my boy, Mohammed Abukar.
Kathleen Elizabeth Brett.
Say Mohammed Lafayette. Yeah?
Jacob Thomas Bergia.
Congratulations right now, man. Congratulations. Graduate the other day.
135 boys. You did? Open the window, actually, it won't pull out. It was so long, oh my god. Hey,
First video and then picture.